Well, hey, good morning. Welcome to my world of the weird and wonderful. I'm so grateful you're here. I'm grateful I'm here. My name is Amira Hall. I am a psychic medium. I'm a manifesting mentor. I help people manifest what it is they truly want, move that pain out, turn it into power so they can have what's in their heart. Today, I'm going to talk to you about intuition. Intuition is actually a small thing, but it's everything. Intuition, I talked about yesterday why a lot of people don't trust their intuition. And intuition is one of those things that is something that's developed and nurtured, but it's our inner GPS. And it's a system within us that's always working, even when we're sleeping. And the opening the third eye is a part of the process, a window into the world of the non-physical. And so the work I do with people is focused mostly on the clairvoyance. But at the foundation of developing our intuition is having a sense of clarity and having our energetic system, the chakra system, all working in harmony. And when that happens, when we develop that, that's when our natural spiritual abilities open up, can blossom. So today I'm going to talk to you about the 7 key elements in developing or awakening your third eye, opening your intuition. And so the first thing is being able to meditate regularly. Right out of the gate, whenever I start working with somebody, we work with what I call the quantum tools. They're energetic practices. They're short guided visualizations, but they're a way to begin moving the energies, releasing blocks to still the physical body, also the emotional body, the mental body, our brain, our mind that's always going like crazy, and to quiet that time so that we can be present for any new information that might want to come in, or for us to, oh, gee, I need to call so-and-so, or I need to, oh, gee, did I get that grocery item? I don't know, something for your recipe, whatever is going on in your life. You might get inspiration to write something or to create something. So it's a wonderful time not only to purge what's blocking your inspiration or your intuition or your creativity, that beautiful light and love that you have buried deep within you, but it's a time to just release. Yeah. So yeah, that leads to the second thing that is important in developing your intuition and your third eye. Opening that is letting go. A big part of who we are is as a magnet. We are energetic beings, and unknowingly we're absorbing energies every minute of our day and night. And we've got old habits, we've got family patterns, we've got ancestral patterns, we've got other people's belief systems. We've been indoctrinated in our school systems, our religious practices. But these are senses or aspects to who we think we are. And all of those can limit our actual spiritual aptitude. So we want to clear away those blocks. Being able to let go is key. And part of the meditation practice is developing and creating a safe way to let that go. So the body won't grow, your light won't shine unless you have a way to feel safe in letting go, and releasing those hidden blocks, the unconscious things that you've tucked away, you've forgotten about them. The third tip I can give you in developing and opening your third eye and awakening your intuition is to get clear. Our lives are so busy. We're running around, we're analyzing, we've got our lists, our calendars are full nonstop. There's all kinds of energies trying to get our attention, bombarding us. I don't know about your email, but I get a gazillion emails, and somehow, even if you unsubscribe, they still reach you. So the energy tools that I teach and talk about is tool number 2 is about clearing the center of our head, clearing what I call the analyzer. That's a part of your mind or your brain that's constantly moving and grooving. All those lists of things that you got to do, your worries of what if this happens, and if I don't do that, then this will happen. Your fears of things that are beyond your control. What else? Anxiety. That is part of clutter that's just recirculating in the center of your head. That's that center space that I talk about where we have clear vision, and that's how we develop that is the seat of our third eye. And the center of your head is what I get it. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. The fourth thing that you need to do in awakening your intuition and opening your third eye is to learn how to be present. You know what? There's a constant barrage of energetics flowing in, energy that's derailing you, confusing you, creating fuzzy thinking and thoughts. And it's derailing you from being present with who you are. And all of this is communicating with your intuition. So we want to release again the foreign energies. And in doing releasing of foreign energies, whether they're your energies or their past patterns or blocks, in that whole process, you become more present. You become aware. You're in the moment. Have you ever been driving down the road and you missed your exit? Well, that's an example that you literally, your spirit left the body for a minute. I had to get my tire repaired the other day, and I brought it into the shop and they were done. I had to buy a new tire. That's the end of the story. That's not the end of the story. I still need to go get that done. But the kid they pulled my car out of the bay where they were looking at the tires, and it's out in the parking lot. So I left the waiting room and I went all the way around to get into my car thinking, well, they've got to left the keys in the car or something. Well, the keys weren't there. So I went and asked, who's got my keys? And they said, oh, well, the manager has your keys. And this was this young kid. And he said, I'm sorry, I can't go ask anybody. It's my first day. I said, yes, you can. Go over to the window or open the door and simply ask the manager, where's Miss Hall's keys? Well, he frazzled at that thought. And then so he said, well, the manager has them and I don't know where the manager is. He's not here. Then he walked all the way around the shop. Then he was talking to another person that works there. And he says, oh, I don't know what their conversation was, but next thing you know, he reaches in his pocket and there were my keys. I almost had a meltdown. No, just kidding. But there was an example of that kid. Yes, it's his first day. We got to give him a pass, right? He was really stretching, but he was not in his body. He didn't know where those keys were. And yet somebody had given him the keys and he had them right with him. So on I go. So being able to release those energy, in his case, he was so anxious. He wanted to do a good job. He was, being stretched with me asking him to do something out of the norm. And I could just see his brain just all getting fired up, misfiring. So anyway, that is, when we're in our past, so for whatever reason, maybe he was fired from another job, or maybe this was his first job ever. Those energies of fears or beliefs that he wasn't doing a good job or that he would get terminated, those energies prevent us from being present. So we have to bring our energy back from the future and forward from the past to be present. And all of that is what I teach you in your practices. The fifth tip that I'm going to give you in awakening your intuition is asking questions. Receiving wisdom, it could be it is a passive experience. You're simply receiving. I had an experience with one of my clients recently, and she got a message about her deceased son from his friend that said he didn't die the way they said. And so she got all tangled up and freaking out, thinking there was something wrong or medical malpractice or whatever. And I personally pulled my energy back from her. I wanted her to get her own clear answer. So when she got quiet and she tapped into her son, he explained, he didn't die, he's alive. but the person receiving the information misinterpreted it. Okay, so we need to be clear and we need to ask the questions. Is that what he was saying, that he didn't die the way she thought? Or was it that he didn't die? So I think that's important when we're trying to get the answer. A lot of people use pendulums and other devices, but quite honestly, your job is to get completely clear. I think that's why people use or rely on a pendulum, which I gotta say is not accurate, especially if you're asking for yourself, because you can't get neutral about your own stuff in the beginning. You can also get clear by writing in a journal. That can help, just releasing. Again, that's a process of releasing energies, and trying to interpret the signals, let's say, of your dream or of messages or signs that you're receiving along the way. If you keep seeing, blackbirds or ravens and they're squawking at you, maybe there's something that you need to pay attention to. So that is the sixth point, is listen, being able to listen and get quiet. Just as I say that, there's a great big raven that's circling outside my window. I just love that. Our lives are getting busier every single day. As I said, with the email and we've got apps up the wazoo and your to-do list. And oh boy, the most valuable wisdom comes to us when we're open to receive it. But if you've got your schedule so busy and you don't have time to meditate, to tip number one, like I say to my students, if you don't have 15 minutes in your day to meditate, then you need 30. And if you don't have 30 minutes to meditate as we advance, then you need an hour. That means you're so busy, your life is so helter-skelter, you're a mess, and you need to up it. Devoting time every single day is very helpful in awakening your intuition and developing your third eye. I like to suggest you have the same place to meditate. Your body has a memory. When you sit in that chair, it'll click into a deeper meditation in a shorter amount of time. But learning to trust your inner GPS is key. And, there's signs, we've got songs along the way. We get numbers, repeating numbers. Our angels are trying to get our message any which way they can because your life is so hectic, right? The final tip I have for you, tip number 7 in awakening your intuition, is get expert guidance. You don't know what you don't know, and you can't see what you can't see. And having somebody that's expert that can guide you along that way and understand you can't just do a YouTube download and open your intuition or open that third eye. You're asking for trouble, okay? There is exact steps to take that will rapidly increase and open your abilities, but you need to do it in a safe, practical, prudent way, in my opinion. I know from experience that if you're in a hurry and you're trying to open things up, you're trying to pry it open, then you're headed for trouble, okay? So then there'll be too many voices in your head and you've got too many outside influences directing you do this and you got to do that. And if you wear some amethyst, that's going to open you up. Not. It takes patience. It takes practice. It takes self-discovery and your dedication to yourself to allow your abilities to gently open like a flower. People say to me, when are my gifts going to open and blossom? Well, if you've ever watched a rose in your garden, you can't just flip a switch and it's going to be open. You have to be patient. You water it, you fertilize it, and the sun has to be shining, right? And so one day you'll go out there and the rose will be opened. And it's like that with our intuition, right? If you give it the nurturing, if you give it the right environment, it will blossom beyond your imagination. The beauty, the richness of your intuition and the gifts that you have is beyond measure. So I really applaud you for all the steps that you're taking in awakening your intuition. And if you'd like to learn more about expanding your third eye and trusting it and using it for your business, for your health, for your wealth, and relationships. It's so incredibly practical, okay? It's not just about reading minds, don't get me wrong. So, I'd like to take people on that journey of discovering more of who they are. That's what I do. So there's some links in the description. Go ahead and get started. If nothing else, start with that Stress Buster link, and you can get starting to clear the energy so that you can be more clear and invite your beautiful gifts to open like that rose. And so thanks so much for being here. It's Friday. It's the weekend. I'll see you back here 11 a.m. Eastern time during the week, weekdays, Monday through Friday. And I'll look forward to seeing you then. YouTube likes positive vibes too, right? I know you do. So give this video a thumbs up if it resonates with you. Share it and leave a comment, because that gives me double vibes, good vibes. And I love it. I love it. And I love to interact with you. If you have any questions, leave them in the description or in the comments below, and I'll be happy to answer those. Have a magical weekend.